guys, check it out. I got a silver play button. Oh, Jesus! I enjoy a good anniversary. It's like a little party. We get a bunch of exciting announcements. A couple people say some silly things.
Excited.
Whatever was going on in there was pretty bad, I guess. They know how to pull it off better than those State of Plays, that's for sure. Then they whip out that the current chapter is Dungeons & Dragons, next chapter is Castlevania, except this cute one right here. What are you, mysterious little in-between chapter? I get to stream some of the killer and I thought it was kinda neat, except the more I played Vecna, the less I liked him, and I was really upset by that. I'm either starting to outgrow Dead by Daylight or they fumbled his design, and it better be the second one! And the worst part is that I struggle to articulate why, so we're gonna have to try anyway. But first, I'd like to start with the common opinion that Vecna was too out there for Dead by Daylight.
No.
It's something that might have bugged me a little bit ago, but you know what, now that it's here, I guess I don't really care. D&D is effectively what you make it. The character of Vecna is the walking version of Rocks Fall, Everyone Dies, so if you're afraid of losing your OC, that's definitely terrifying. Hell, D&D has tons of horror setups. Or we could put it this way, I'm a horror game, so whatever I put inside me is horror. He does look a bit bright, and he should hold his fucking knife like a real adult. But I do think this is pretty horrifying. Oh my God. I would say he fits in quite nicely, with tons of little flourishes. He's even voiced by Matt Mercer.
I will not fail.
Oh, what's that? I just laid a curse of terrible luck upon you, setting up several terrible events that will happen in your life. Everything bad that happens to you from this point on is my fault. Thankfully, the next minute and a half contains the counterspell. Yes, it's time for an ad, but don't worry, you'll see me get beaten up. If you watch it, nothing bad will ever happen to you ever again. Probably. If you don't, well, next time you go to the doctor, think of me. Anyway, you could thank this life-changing opportunity to the sponsor of this video, Raycon's Everyday Earbuds. Raycon earbuds are perfect when you want super high-quality sound for half the price. These ergonomic earbuds fit snugly in your ear and give you high-quality sound. Raycon has sold 3 million of their previous Everyday Earbuds. If you haven't tried them yet, or even if you just want a second pair now is the perfect time because the upgraded model just launched. The new Everyday Earbuds are chock full of new features. To prove how strong these earbuds were, I went to my local gym and asked a purple belt to beat me up to test their sturdiness. They now feature active noise cancellation, so you can immerse yourself in your favorite games or music without any distractions. Plus, the ergonomic design ensures they fit comfortably and securely, ideal for fighting people twice my size. That's 5 minutes with a purple belt, and they didn't fall out once. And the multi-point connectivity lets me pair them with 2 devices at once. I also love the optimized gel tips, which provide a cozy custom fit and make sure the earbuds stay put, no matter how painful that choke is. And for the days I forget to charge them, the quick charge function is a lifesaver. Just 10 minutes of charging gives me an hour and a half of playtime. Available in new vibrant colors. I got the blue earbuds and the Galaxy case, because my desk is pitch black, and I keep losing my phone on it. Seriously, if you want to check out Raycon's, there's no better time. Plus, Raycon offers a 30-day happiness guarantee, so there's no risk. Anyway, the cure for the curse that's actually been on you since you were born is to go to buyraycon.com/Rowby. This will have the added benefit of giving you 15% off your Raycon purchase, plus free shipping. Click the link in the description or go to buyraycon/Rowby. Thank you to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Now back to the show. Vecna is a killer with 4 powers. If you press the power button, a diamond opens up and you move the mouse or thumbstick to select one. Up is the spell Fly, right is the Flight of the Damned, down is Dispelling Sphere, and left is Mage Hand. Each has its own situation that it works for. For example, Mage Hand lets you hold pallets in place, Flight of the Damned lets you shoot out 5 projectiles in a cone, Fly lets you move faster for a brief period of time and soar over pallets. No, it doesn't let you actually leave the ground. That would be too situational for a killer that is specifically built to have a tool for every situation. Lastly, there's the Dispelling Sphere, and I'm gonna have to put a pin in that one because it's more complicated than you think. Think of it as delayed gratification. Also, if I try to explain it now, we're both just gonna give each other a headache. Flight of the Damned is the easiest to explain and the most dogshit. Activating this causes 5 skeleton boys to appear and fly in front of you. If they collide with a survivor, they do damage. So what's the fucking problem? Well, they're all suspended at above average height, meaning they can only hit people who are standing. If the survivor crouches at the right time, the skeleton boy will fly right over them. Oh, you can't do it against Skull Merchant, but now this is fucking easy for you guys. So yes, this is a power that forces people to crouch sometimes. Ghost boys also tend to spread out pretty strongly, but that just takes a bit of getting used to. It's also smart to hide where the projectiles are coming from, usually by positioning yourself behind something before activating it. Sometimes it'll work out anyway, like a paint by numbers that somehow add up. Fly lets you move much faster while going over pallets and windows. This lasts for either 4 seconds or until you cross over something. It has a special timing to it as well. If you vault at the right time, you can catch the survivor while they're still in their animation. Fly can also be used to quickly swap targets. It's probably the second most versatile spell he has. Ooh, you want to know so bad, don't you? At the time of writing, Fly has also received a new feature in terms of collision, specifically when the spell ends, allowing you to block off certain routes. If you know the tricks to this, you're likely a Wraith player, and I'd like you to come out into the open, you coward. Okay, last one before I have to pull out the encyclopedia for Dispelling Sphere. Mage Hand lets you target a pallet and do this.
What? Help me!
You can hold the pallet in place for a short amount of time, stopping survivors from stunning you with it, or you can use it on dropped pallets to lift them up. The pickup is really fast, so you can hit them almost immediately after it's been cast. The only downside is that they can use that pallet again if, you don't have Mage Hand up again. So, I'm gonna say Mage Hand is Vecna's strongest spell. Do not ingest this take if you are pregnant or have certain heart conditions. All takes expire 1 month after production. This comment does not apply to future buffs, nerfs, or reworks. Ask your doctor about Mage Hand today for proper takes. Mage Hand can allow for what feels like unwinnable moments. You either get hit by Vecna, or he blocks the pallet and you get hit by Vecna. A lot of people have stated that Flight of the Damned is Vecna's worst spell. It is and isn't. The spell's zoning potential can be kind of helpful, but it's easy to mess up, so they counterbalanced it by filling it with jank. By going on a slightly lower elevation, you can make the flight impossible to duck under. Think of maps like Gideon and the Swamp. Just remember that the angle is tight. Though more importantly, you can seem to two-tap people by placing these ghosts on them.
Affront to humanity. War crime. Should literally be tried for war crimes.
Which is why on the survivor end, I believe tracking Mage Hand is going to be a very important part of playing against Vecna. So you sit under a pallet and smack your ass until he uses it. You're gonna have to dodge a lot of these moves as survivor, and keep track of them. The last thing you want to do is stun him and then get hit with the... Even if Astri the Pastry has it coming. She seems to be, since she's here because she was fucking bored. When Vecna's in the game, a handful of magical chests appear on the map. Opening one rolls the blessed D20. If you roll a 4, 3, or 2, there will just be a regular item that you can find in the blood web. Anything else will give you an item specific to Vecna matches. Though 2 are particularly rare, so we're gonna focus on 4 of them for now. Yes, I need to make an outline to describe this to you. It's like college, but if I fail, someone comes to my house. Each of the 4 items give you a special effect that is triggered when Vecna uses a spell. Its effect directly counters that spell. For example, Mage Hand's counter item, the Interloper, gives you a brief speed boost when he activates Mage Hand, allowing you to escape the free hit. Fly's counter item makes his aura visible to you while he's flying. Night Watch lets you see the Flight of the Damned, just in case you enjoy punching down. And finally, we can bring up the Dispelling Sphere. I know, all my Dispel cells are cheering. This is a massive orb that crosses about 75% of the map. It moves slowly, but it is completely invisible to the naked eye. If a survivor passes through it, they are dispelled, turning off their magic items and revealing them with Killer Instinct, functionally allowing it to serve 2 purposes: keep you updated on survivor positions, or weaken someone to your other spells. Also, little known fact, when a survivor is dispelled, you can see what items they have. It counters the exact same spell of the icon it shares. Try to remember who has what so that you can remember what they counter. Or just force feed them a Dispelling Sphere. Angling this fella is a speciality in its own right. Though you should remember that there's a counter item to the Dispelling Sphere that makes it visible again. So you might need to rely on hitting them in chase with it, otherwise they'll just walk out of it. After a while, survivors will know to get their items. At any time, 2 of your spells will not work against them. That is half your kit that will waste your time. You have to dispel people. Thankfully, you can manipulate the orb a lot. The thing is massive and will go through literally anything. That includes the floor, so you can make sure it's angled appropriately, lest it fly off into the ground or sky. The hitbox is generous, so you can just fire it in a direction and get it, dude. You can even send it at hooks if your vibes say someone's going to it. Vibes are anything, unless they run into a locker. Then your vibes are usually, where did they go? Why? Oh, wow, those 2 Vecna items I didn't bring up before. If while playing as a survivor, you roll a 20 while searching a chest, you can get one of 2 items. What happens if you roll a 1? Well, me telling you what it does isn't gonna save you when it happens. These 2 special items are the Hand of Vecna and the Eye of Vecna. The Hand lets you fast rush into lockers and get teleported to a different one. Then you're revealed with Killer Instinct. The Eye works when you fast rush out of a locker, making you faster and invisible. For my money, the Hand will be more widely sought, because this can happen when you use the Eye. If you want to use these, you have to pick it up and attune to them, which will play a loud sound cluing in Vecna that you've done it. Using their special effects will also injure and break you for a brief time, and you can't use them while injured. But also, the hand just lets you leave the chase. If a survivor fast rushes into a locker, you're not exactly going to go across the map to get them. At least you can make them pay for being a pain in the ass. While we're talking about playing against Vecna, we might as well talk about the troop, he said, already having an outline ready. Everyone loves railroading when you're not a dungeon master. The survivor seems a bit confused. It's a troop of bards, just like how the Legion is a group of people. Each skin is a different member of the troop. At the moment, it only consists of 2 people, Ashtri Yazar and Bearmar Uraz. Ashtri is an elf and Baymar is a human. Yep, just a human. You know, you could have swapped Baymar with a tiefling so that Robbie Damon had something fun to work with. But Ashtri is on all the marketing, which makes me think that 90% of the team just wanted to put her out here. But one fucking guy was stubborn with his OC, and here we are. Which is why I feel weird saying what I'm about to say, but the survivor end is much more satisfying than the killer end. At least in terms of theme. All of Ashtri's perks are not only interesting, but they feel like playing a little shit in D&D. Ashtri's first perk is Bardic Inspiration, and Lordy, sit your ass down because we have a chunk of text to read. If you stand still and press the ability button, you'll begin jamming and roll a d20. A critical fail makes you scream without revealing your location. A roll between 2 and 10 gives 1 extra point of progression on skill checks. This effect applies to anyone within 16 meters. If it rolls between an 11 and a 19, it's 2% progress, and a nat 20 gives you 3%. This also has the added effect of casting Vicious Mockery if the killer is really short. Okay, so what does all that mean in English? You start jamming, and people nearby get a buff. The potency of the buff depends on the die you roll. If it's a 1, you basically get nothing. Everything else makes it so that your skill checks provide progress by virtue of simply being completed, all the way up to 3% per skill check. Enjoy this face, you will see it in your nightmares. The next perk is Mirrored Illusion. After repairing 50% of a generator, for that is what they always want, you can place a fake version of yourself on anything that can be interacted with. It doesn't actually complete the thing, but it will convince the killer at a distance that you're doing it, which can make them foolishly swap targets when they don't need to. You can also hide inside the illusion to triple cross the killer. God, you fucking people should be glad they didn't give us Hunger of Hadar too. Finally, you have Still Sight, which works when standing still, showing chests and the killer within 18 meters, and generators too, because fuck that one Alan Wake boon for some reason. That was pretty neat. What does the killer get? Nothing like that? Wow, I'm almost psychotically enraged, but then you guys made me play What the Fog, so I'm feeling a bit dazed. In truth, I started pretty staunchly hating these perks. I still do, but more on a moral level. Time sat, as it do, and I ended up coming around on them. You might be going, how did you do all that after so little time? And the answer is that I did the adept. Dark Arrogance allows you to vault faster, but when you are stunned or blinded, it takes longer to recover. It's nice because it's named after the kind of person who would run it. If you're confident that you won't get stunned, go ahead. Vaulting could be a good tool since most survivors never expect you to do it. Though to get true value out of this, I think you'd need to run another vaulting perk to get what you really want. Languid Touch makes it so that disturbing a crow near you exhausts survivors for 10 seconds. Hey, word count on that was pretty small. Really love that. Also, this is basically uncounterable in Chase. Unless you're gonna path around the crows like a nut job, or have somebody come and disturb them. Anyway, you can now shovel every exhaustion perk from the last 5 years into the bin. And finally, Weave Attunement. Alright, I like it. No, it's not fucking good enough, but it's good. Weave Attunement lets you see the aura of dropped items. These turn into little radars, showing off the auras of anyone nearby. When a survivor picks up an item, they become oblivious for 30 seconds. And to make it all work out, when they deplete all of the charges in their item, it drops. What this means is that you get several little spotting devices just hiding out. If survivors don't want to get caught by it, they're gonna have to pick up the item and put it in the corner of the map like they're quarantining it. The act of doing this will also make them oblivious. I've already had games where this saved me, like this one where they used their toolbox on the final generator and I was able to monitor it just perfectly. Also, yes, playing this alien game is how I learned that this does not apply to the items you get in killer games. For example, the Vecna boots aren't going to do this to you, but the items they'll find in a chest if they roll a 4, 3, or 2 will trigger this perk. In effect, I actually think all of these are pretty cool, and you shouldn't sleep on a single one of them. Dark Arrogance could be great on Sadako since her power allows you to perform a fucking perfect parry on pallet stuns. I was almost ready to concede that they finally gave us good perks, until I realized that they raised the bar. I've been bitching about this for a while, and typing this section so many times has made me realize this is a pattern, not a creative block, not cowardice. Survivors have consistently gotten perks with a lot of interesting dynamics to them. Ellen Ripley got Freeze Mines, Alan Wake got Champion of Light, Sable Ward has Invocations, and now Astree's here with fucking guitar solos. Meanwhile, killers have gotten strong perks, but not cool ones. Yes, I am like a jealous little kid. The bare minimum would be like a new asset or something, some new animation or item laying around. It seems like they're trying to give the survivors toys while they give us weapons. These 3 perks would be my favorite that we've gotten in a while. The item perk is specifically going to be something I'm running. The crow perk might be the best exhaustion perk in the game, but looking at these side by side, I'm not crazy, right? I assume there's a rational explanation why the survivors need to get goofy tools while we get strong ones. But fuck your rational explanation. I want to freeze people, but I'm tired. I have to squeeze in some more work. I have to make a what the fog video. So I'm just gonna say, can we have a mind perk? Or a little fella that walks around with us? Thank you. I know you're sick of hearing the word perk. I am too. I've been recording it for the past hour. Okay, so recommended perks. Spirit Fury activates when you break 2 pallets. The next time you are stunned, you instantly break the pallet with your head. No, I'm not throwing Enduring in there too. I'm a jerk, not a monster. One of the things with Fly is that a lot of survivors will attempt to stun you while in it. Fly is too fast for them to find anywhere else that's safe, and now you can physically block their bodies. This can allow for a bit of guaranteed value. Alien Instinct works when you hook a survivor while another is injured. This reveals their aura to you and makes them oblivious for a short duration. If you try to run this on another killer, often you'll hook someone and everyone is healed. But thanks to Vecna's 2 items, there's a good chance someone injured themselves and escaped you long ago. Second, while many killers lack the speed to catch up to you in the short 20-second oblivious duration, Fly can get you there in a jiffy. From what I can tell, it's a pretty quiet spell anyway. Then, I was going to recommend Zanchin Tactics, until I found out having Mage Hand equipped showed you every pallet anyway. But then I realized that no one is going to have Mage Hand equipped every few seconds. Zanchin Tactics lets you see the aura of every pallet and window, allowing you to decide ahead of time what spell is appropriate, where to line up Flight of the Damned, if the tile they're running to has a pallet for Mage Hand, where to fly and cut them off. But some of you heard about the alternative where you have Mage Hand equipped the entire time. And I think the only punishment for your arrogance is to let you follow the path you want to walk on. Coup de grace is the final perk, because they have no item that counters good old-fashioned bullshit. Basically, when a generator pops, you get 2 tokens, and you can spend one to lunge really, really far. Since Vecna is constantly applying his spells, you can save your stacks. Now Mage Hand's skill floor is so low, it's asking for another Legion skin. And yes, Trepid Adventurers, it's time for the add-on section. Vecna has some of my favorite add-ons in recent memory. Each one adds a clear, defined new effect to one of your spells, or gives you a good old-fashioned buff. I'm thrown off, honestly. Where's the move 2% faster while selecting spells? You have options like making the Dispel orb larger and faster, or adding Mr. Sir Skellingtons to the flight. They do lean you into favoring certain spells over the match, which I like. It gives Vecna matches a new flavor to them each time. Well, at least like, until you get bored and start casting Mage Hand again. My personal favorite is going to be the Boots of Speed that give you a 5% haste after casting Mage Hand, almost undoing the effect of the Interloper, meaning you can enjoy casting Mage Hand anyway. You know I like the red ones. I was sitting here ready to feast on nothing, but for once in maybe the past year, they've actually given cool red add-ons to me. Each red add-on changes 2 of your spells, reworking them in a way that matters. If you equip both, you might as well be playing a different character. For example, the Iridescent Book of Darkness. Damn, where do you study? Flying now blocks windows, and Flight of the Damned is now toddler-sized, low to the ground, but there's only 2. So you don't use it to force a crouch, you use it like Huntress. Bringing us all the way back to good old 2017. A simple step back is sometimes better than an infinitely complex present. Give me my fucking 6v6 back. Then you have the Vorpal Sword. Now Mage Hand just breaks pallets. And Dispelling Sphere now breaks injured survivors for 60 seconds. The hand thing is neither here nor there. I can get a time saver anywhere, thanks. The sphere thing? I can tunnel without being there. Just send an orb to the hook with some basic game sense and I've pissed someone off. I don't believe Vecna is the type of character that inspires rage in a person, but I'm excited to see if I can be the first one to do it. Closing thoughts. We'll do a chapter review. I'm still living off the high of getting that first review copy. The killer is not as good as the Unknown. I know that because shortly after playing Vecna, I booted up the Unknown instead. This map is sick, by the way. We got this dungeon underneath the map that really gives it this feeling that other levels don't get. Those portals might be infinites though, jury's still out. The only way to prevent it from ever being a problem is to kill everyone who knows about it. You might think that's harsh, but we let the Wraithmanes flourish, and I've always regretted that. Why didn't I enjoy playing Vecna though? Playing the unknown with his perks was a lot of fun, so it certainly can't be that I hate the game now. Now I have to pay for the drywall. They even giga-buffed him for a release. Clutch that mage hand while you can, because it's not long for this world. I think the reason I dislike him comes down to a certain rigidness with his power. A lot of the gameplay feels like waiting for the opportunity to use a spell if you have it. Like you have 4 rotating solutions for specific situations. It doesn't feel like I have a lot of ways to use these spells. Mage hand is almost always a timing game. Flight of the Damned zones people. Fly gets back distance. Dispelling Orb is the only one that feels like it gives me a choice to make, as I might not always need the information it gives me. You might want to save it to dispel someone. The other 3 don't feel like that. The only way I can mess up Mage Hand is if I get the timing wrong. He's not a weak killer by any means. The guy can mulch people if you learn these timings properly. We can't ever forget the Flight of the Damned war crime spacing. Yes, Kissinger would also be a killer at the top of B tier. I'm underwhelmed by Vecna's power. I'm still gonna play him, at least for another week or 2. That's sort of my cycle with Dead by Daylight. The week of a new release, I basically play every day, and that's why I have such strong mental health. Afterwards, I play it every now and then, but the moment I have a bad match, I take a deep breath and turn it off. There's a lot of games out there, and I have literally unlocked everything in Dead by Daylight. Without a rank to climb or a thing to unlock, the only thing that drives me to play in my spare time is to see if I have fun. And if that ain't gonna happen, well, you see that Expedition 33 game, dude? If a couple of guys teabag me at the gate, I'm gonna go watch that trailer again instead. That's the first killer of year 9. And thankfully, we're getting a lot of options on games to play when Dead by Daylight pisses us off. There's like, we're eating good. I know people hate everything that wasn't Until Dawn, but the casting of Frank Stone looks like really interesting. Supermassive games fill this really specific hole in the industry. Horror games with stakes because there's no rewind button. Jank aside, I'm always going to be excited for them. The other announcements may have made an attempt on my life, but it's cool. Project T looks really rough to me. I've buried enough 4-player co-op shooters. I'll be nice though and hold off my opinion until it's actually finished. Because Lord knows, what you guys have actually finished certainly leaves an impact on me. Oh god, none of you know what I'm talking about, do you? I've only got one way to describe what you're looking at. Hey, thanks for watching. I hope it's okay that this one is a good amount later than usual. The Dead by Daylight crowd waits a long while for these videos, so I like to make sure I don't half-ass them. Also, while you're here and while I've got you cornered, I would like to recommend these 3 videos to you because, well, they're the exact same thing you just watched. Anyway, before we get going, I'd like to thank the people on Patreon who made this video possible. I would especially like to thank Pyrozine, Anthony R. Chambers, Colorado Ranger, Sparkbolt 120, Mario Fan 997, Rekren, Ethan A, My Reed, and Sturmfetter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon in the next video.